It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Tennesse Volunteers Swim and Diving Associate Head Coach, Ashley Jahn. How are you doing today?
Fine, thanks.
Can you talk about how you got started in college coaching for swimming and diving?
Yeah, I was blessed enough to start my collegiate coaching career at Tennesse in 2008. I had the opportunity to be a manager and then a graduate assistant with the Lady Vols Swimming and Diving team when my husband and I moved to Knoxville to get a master's degree. So had a chance to work with the women's team, not in a coaching role, but just to have the introduction into collegiate coaching, kind of aside from my own collegiate career.
Can you talk about your collegiate career and what you achieved?
That'll be a fairly short discussion. It was good. I was very blessed to get to swim at the Air Force Academy for Coach Casey Converse, and he was an incredible head coach, and I learned a lot from him. Probably learned more when I looked back on my collegiate career, and am just really appreciative that he gave me the opportunity to swim at the academy and be part of the team there.
Can you talk about what you accomplished as the associate head coach for the swimming and diving?
Sure. I think the accomplishments are hopefully just in how the athletes feel about their careers as they move forward. I think we at Tennesse have a unique in some ways outlook on both the competitive environment, but then how we want our athletes to grow as not only athletes and competitors, but also just as people when they start to move forward in the world. And so hopefully, besides the kind of X's and O's, if you will, of swimming, I certainly, hope that my impact has helped there, but I think a lot in them being confident and comfortable moving forward into their either pro swimming careers, as that seems to be more of a thing now, or into their professional careers, whatever kind of field they choose.
Can you talk about how many of your women have gone on to make it into the professional?
Sure. So we have a really incredible pro group of women right now, and a good portion of them are swimming over in the ISL in Hungary, and that's exciting. It's been really fun to keep up with their results and just watch them compete. We had that period of time where there wasn't a whole lot of competing in anything going on, so it's been really fun to watch what they've been able to accomplish. But we have I'm doing quick math in my head right now, but I think we have, let's see. We have eight pro women, and that's pretty exciting.
That's very good. Can you talk about what you accomplished as a coach in swimming?
Sure. So this is at least how I evaluate it, but as I kind of look at each season, or even over a period of years, the the things that I hope I'm seeing are improvements in obviously times and technique, but just improvements in like the culture of the team, and making sure that we are meeting the competitive missions and goals of our athletes, and then of the athletic department, and representing the university really well. And I think as I look back on my coaching career so far, I'm pretty happy with the results in those areas.
Can you talk about you had your time at UNLV? How
Mhm.
was that like?
It was great. Uh, Coach Jim Wrights was the head coach at the time, and I was really blessed to have the opportunity to step into one of his assistant coaching roles and then work with his staff there. Also on that staff was Kunio Kono and Julie Weddle, and they were like two other just incredible coaches to work for. Jim had been the head coach at UNLV for years and had an incredible culture. The athletes on the team were amazing, from all over the world. And it was I was really blessed that Jim gave me the opportunity to step in as a first time assistant coach and work with the athletes that I got the opportunity to work with, and also do some step in as the recruiting coordinator role there also.
Can you talk about your role as a recruitment coordinator and what on the swimming and diving side that was like?
It's really fun. I think the best part about it is talking to a lot of prospects and asking them what they're looking for in a collegiate career, but then, you know, getting the opportunity to see who would be the best fit. Now at Tennessee, when I was at UNLV, it was, looking for somebody that would really fit into the culture there. And,
Can you talk about your time at Iowa as the assistant swimming and diving coach?
sure, I was at Idaho.
Oh,
And it was great. Moscow, Idaho is a really special place. I got to work with one of who I consider just a great mentor in the sports, and an amazing coach in Mark Soa. And he was the new head coach there and had an opportunity to go up and be his assistant coach in his first year. It's an amazing community up there. The university is it's beautiful. It's a wonderful academic institution. The swimming and diving program there is just an amazing group of women, and it was a lot of fun to spend that time there with Coach Soa and the Vandals.
can you talk about the recruitment process at Tennessee as the, of course, associate head coach and what that's like for the swimming and diving program?
Yeah, it's really fun. In everything that pretty much everything that we do, there's competition, and so it's really fun to talk to these prospective student athletes and get a chance to know them and get a chance to know their families, and introduce them to Tennessee and introduce them to what it means to be a Lady Vol, and basically kind of embark on whether or not Tennessee is going to be, the best fit for both the prospective student athlete and also for Tennessee.
Can you talk about the recruitment process for the swimming and diving and what it's like on the official visit?
Sure. I feel like I've almost forgotten what an actual official visit looks like in the COVID shutdown, but it's great. It's hopefully what's happened prior to that is just the ability to set up. We know the prospect by that time, like we know their families, but it's a great opportunity for them to really immerse themselves in our team and get some one-on-one time with our student athletes to really decide whether or not being in Knoxville and being a Lady Vol is going to be what they want to do. We have, really high standards for the people that we invite to be on our team. And we have an incredible group of women, both from a athletic accomplishment sense, but from an academic success standpoint as well. So we always want to make sure that somebody that chooses to come to Tennessee, that it's going to be a really good match. And so the official visit is a great time for the student athlete and their families to come to campus and look around and get a feel for the awesome city of Knoxville. There's a lot to offer. It's a great sports town, but also has a lot of other things in the Knoxville area. There's a lot of great businesses that are here, and it's an incredibly supportive community for Olympic sports, for football, for basketball. So it's a great place to be, and it's nice when we're able to have people in on official visits so that they can experience Knoxville and get a chance to experience our team as well.
With the swimming and diving program at Tennessee, whenever it comes to the official visit, do you put them through like a small little test to see if they will be a fit?
No, typically what we're able to do usually is watch a prospect swim at a meet, maybe go and visit their club teams. All that's been put on hold because of the pandemic and COVID-19. So we haven't been able to do that. But with some competitions starting to open back up, prospects have the ability to take videos of themselves, or their coaches or families can take video and send it to us. So, we've really kind of become a little bit more virtual than maybe what we would ideally like, but it's, it's working out well. In terms of really on the official visit, what we want is for our team and the prospects to get an opportunity to spend time together. And, that's great because our team really wants to, it's the process is really a two-way street. Our team wants the ability to get to know them and make sure that that's somebody that they want to swim with for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, or dive with. And, that like who's going to fit best into the culture? Who do they want to compete to win a championship with? So that 48-hour time on campus is really the opportunity for the student athletes at Tennessee and the prospective student athletes to get to know each other.
That's wonderful. What advice would you give upcoming future swimming and diving high school players looking to get recruited?
Sure, that's a great question. I think one of the things that I encourage the recruits that I talk to, and also club coaches and parents, is to really take time in the process and take time getting to know the coaches at the schools that they're most interested in, as well as they possibly can. And that comes, I think, in a variety of forms. That comes in asking a lot of questions. It comes in asking for advice from people that they trust in their own swimming and diving careers. So that can be their club coach. It can be other people that they know, maybe siblings that have already gone through a similar recruiting process, or club teammates. And the more information and questions that they can ask in how best to set up their process, I think that's the place to start, like building a really good foundation of the things that they really want to know. Certainly, we always get a lot of questions about facilities and resources that are available. And those are always really good questions. But I typically encourage a recruit to take the next step in terms of really getting to know and asking questions of the student athletes that are on the team, finding out what their experience has been like so far, and to ask deep questions into that. What is the culture really like? Like, what does it look like when the team is succeeding? What does it look like when the team maybe fails at something? And then asking the coaches really hard questions as well to get an idea for really how the recruit is going to be coached, and how they're going to be guided through their 4 years as a student athlete at Tennessee or anywhere. I think with the recruiting process moving earlier and earlier, the prospects that are looking at schools are a little bit further away from starting their collegiate careers. And they haven't maybe had as much time to experience even the same levels of success in their high school careers as what our seniors did a few years ago when they were going through the recruiting process as seniors in high school, as opposed to, juniors in high school. And a year makes a big difference. And so drawing on knowledge from other people, like I said, they're club coaches who have been through this process with a lot of different athletes, more than likely, or have been through it themselves, asking questions of teammates that have gone through the process. I think just the more information that they can gather early on, the better. But that process takes time. And so I think you've got to be really organized in the beginning of the process, and then, be willing to take a deep breath when the pressure or perceived pressure starts to come on to make a decision, to really stick with your process.
That's wonderful advice. What advice would you give upcoming, of course, college coaches looking to get into swimming and diving?
Ask a lot of questions and never assume that you know the exact right way to do something. So just being open to taking in information from just every area. Like, don't leave any stone unturned, or don't shut a door too early.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with the swimming and diving program at?
Ooh, that's great. So Vols Swim is the Instagram to follow. And then I think my Instagram is Ashley.Jahn, but you should be able to find that. And then the Vol Sports is a great one to follow as well. So any of the Tennessee sports. So
thank you again, Ashley, for your interview, and best of luck as the associate head coach of the swimming and diving Lady Vols.
Thank you very much, Brandon. Have a great day.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Ashley, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thanks, Brandon.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.